There are many misconceptions about taking IELTS on a computer. If you plan to take an IELTS on computer test, read on to learn about how the listening, reading, writing and speaking tests are delivered, common myths, truths, and what to expect on test day. The IELTS on computer test is different from the IELTS on paper test. This is a myth. The only difference between the IELTS on computer and IELTS on paper test is your test day experience. The test format, question types, time allocated to each test part and content is the same for both IELTS on computer test and the IELTS on paper test. If you choose to complete your IELTS test on a computer, you will do the reading, listening, and writing parts of the test using a computer. All answers will be typed on the screen. You will also be able to write notes on a notes sheet during the listening test. If you take IELTS on paper, you will complete the reading, listening, and writing parts on paper. You can use a pen or HB pencil to complete your writing test, but you must use an HB pencil to write your listening and reading answers on the answer sheet. In both the IELTS on paper and IELTS on computer test, the speaking test is completed in a face-to-face interview with an IELTS examiner. I can do all parts of the IELTS test on the computer. This is true. The reading, writing and listening parts of the IELTS test are completed on a computer, but the speaking test is completed face-to-face with an IELTS examiner. The IELTS on computer test is easier than the IELTS on paper test. This is a myth. The test format, question types, time allocated to each test part and content is the same for both IELTS on computer test and the IELTS on paper test. And because the content for both the IELTS on paper and IELTS on computer test is the same, the level of difficulty is also the same. The only difference might be your level of confidence in sitting your IELTS test on a computer. If you are tech-savvy, you might prefer to take IELTS on a computer. The IELTS on paper test is easier than the IELTS on computer test. This is a myth. Again, both the IELTS on computer and IELTS on paper IELTS test are the same level of difficulty. The IELTS on computer test has a help button to assist you throughout the test. This help option describes question types as well as how the test works. In the IELTS on computer test, there is also an option to change some of the settings, such as font size on the screen. I need a computer to take the IELTS on computer test. This is a myth. You do not need your own computer or laptop to sit an IELTS on computer test. All equipment, including computers and headphones, will be supplied by the test center where you booked your IELTS on computer test. I will get my results faster if I take IELTS on computer. This is true. If you take IELTS on computer, you will receive your results typically within 1 to 5 days after sitting your test. However, if you take the IELTS on paper, you will receive your results 13 days after you have finished your test. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. That's all for today. We appreciate your support. Stay tuned with Anthony Sir.